Darth Maul comes back from the dead. As you might have seen in Solo: A Star Wars Story, Darth Maul survived getting cut in half by Kenobi at the end of Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Maul spent the next 10 years in a refuse pile while he built himself a robot spider body and thought only of taking revenge against the Jedi. Maul's brother, Savage Opress, managed to salvage him, and the pair began a campaign of destruction across the galaxy. This led to a clash with Kenobi, who grievously wounded the two brothers and left them for dead. That seemed to spell the final end of Maul and his brother until Pre Vizsla and Death Watch recovered their bodies. Despite having already been betrayed by Dooku, Vizsla allied himself with Maul, another Sith Lord, in his final attempt to take control of Mandalore. The two took turns double-crossing one another until Maul beheaded Vizsla with his own darksaber. Then Maul declared himself ruler of Mandalore. See, I would have loved to have seen more on Vizsla, like knowing more. I would have cared much more about him and the experience and what they had kind of put us through in that whole thing, because man, that was kind of a devastating thing, because I think, if I remember correctly, I think Satine dies as well in that, and in that whole story arc, Satine dies, and Obi-Wan is just tragically distraught. But remember Vizsla's lieutenant, Bo-Katan, Duchess Sabine's sister? Bo-Katan refuses to bend the knee for her new boss, and reunited with her sister to depose him with less than stunning success. Maul captured Satine and murdered her in front of Obi-Wan. So yeah, that's the... with her final words, Satine expressed her love for Obi-Wan, and with her went all hope for a peaceful Mandalore. So with Maul there and everything, that was horrible. That was really, really a tragic thing. Wonderful storytelling, tragedy, absolute tragedy. Imperial rule, Maul embarked on one fine siege of Mandalore, but was met with resistance from no less than the Republic, Bo-Katan, and Ahsoka Tano, former apprentice to Anakin Skywalker. The campaign was interrupted with Darth Sidious initiated Order 66, killing most of the Jedi in the galaxy, but Maul and Ahsoka managed to escape the ensuing carnage. These events are expected to be expanded upon in the Clone Wars' upcoming final season. So that'll be interesting, because some of those events happen in comics, and they also that'll be interesting because some of those events happen in comics, but they also happen in the Ahsoka novel. So it makes you wonder if they're actually going to just like kind of make those experiences in the Ahsoka novel or what. That'll be really interesting to see, because a lot of those same things do happen. Bo-Katan became regent of Mandalore for a short time, but refused to recognize the sovereignty of the newly formed empire. The Emperor had her replaced with Gar Saxon, an old Mandalorian ally of Maul, who was interested in the power working with the Empire could offer him. With this, the Mandalorians came full circle to their original creative purpose: Imperial Super Commandos. That is, until a young Mandalorian rebel named Sabine Wren, introduced rebels of course, recovered the Darksaber. Wren, an exile disowned by her family, and that whole story is amazing, returned to her people wielding the ancient lightsaber and defeated Gar Saxon in single combat. Sabine chose to spare his life, contrary to Mandalorian tradition. Saxon tried to kill her for this perceived insult, and Sabine's mother shot him through the heart. Though she proved herself more than worthy to wield the sword of the legendary Tar Vizsla, Wren believed that her place was with the rebels. She gave the Darksaber to Bo-Katan, who once again took the mantle of ruler of Mandalore. What the future holds, we don't know much about what became of the Mandalorians following the original trilogy. Lucasfilm has confirmed that the Mandalorian will take place 7 years after Return of the Jedi, which leaves about 11 years of history unaccounted for. And considering Mandalore's rocky history in the modern Star Wars universe thus far, a lot could have changed in a decade. Lucasfilm has also so far skirted around the subject of the gender of the title character of the Mandalorian. Some fans are already speculating that the Mandalorian may feature an older Sabine Wren or Bo-Katan Kryze, considering Favreau's connection with the Clone Wars and Maul's recent cameo in Solo: A Star Wars Story. So, I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I'm curious. I think it'll be good. I'm just, I am apprehensive. I'm really curious to see what happens here. This will be interesting to find out. Thanks so much for joining me. What do you guys think? Just my quick words on it. Like, I just hope they go deep with, like, families and make it like Game of Thrones. Make it... I know that everybody says that, but what I mean is, like, make it, like, and I'm sure he will. I don't want them to just, like, I'm sure it'll be awesome. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I am looking forward to this series quite a bit, and I hope you are too. You've been watching The Fanatics of Film. Have a splendid day.